Today I'm forced to close my old Acorns checking account just to get access to the new one. And if you think that's crazy, I agree with you, because they could have made it super easy in the software to just say, hey, would you like a higher interest rate on your money? Click this button and you could just say yes. But as existing users, we get treated like second-class citizens. So we have to close down our old checking account just to get access to the new one that's the partnership with The Rock. And there's a lot of benefits to the new one. So let's get this old one closed out, shut down, and get the new one started. So first off, if I look at my old account here, there's no mention whatsoever of the new account. Like if you didn't know and seek out for yourself that this was an offering, then they're basically keeping it from you. So I'm glad that you're here and you know that this new account is here, because now we can figure this out together and get you set up. So if I look back in this email that I got from Acorns that told me, here's how you basically have to do this, the instructions are log into your account, click on settings, my subscription, then hit close checking, and that will actually shut down your old account. Then you have to wait a few days for that to be finalized. Then you should be able to open the new account. So let's do that right now. So you can see as I got into my settings here, I'm paying $9 a month. I've got the investing base account. I've got the investing custom account. I've got a later account, and I've got our lovely old rickety checking account. So if I hit close right now, then we can see, yeah, are you sure you want to do this? You're going to be removed from your benefits. Yes. Of course I want to do it because I want the better benefits from the new Mighty Oak card. And then I love that they give you a reason here, like a selection of choices that you could say why you're doing this. And I just said, hey guys, I want the Mighty Oak card. I want the Mighty Oak, really, not necessarily the card. I want the account and the corresponding interest rate. This is the only way you give me access to get it. So silly. Get my $100 back out of there and we're good to go. So now it's basically a waiting game to see how fast can this thing turn around, get closed down, and then apparently get access to this new Mighty Oak deal. And then just for fun, sometimes I get in here and look at the potential for future growth just because it's so darn entertaining. So if I invest $500 a week, I could have $5.3 million. That would be really great. But what if I invest that much per day? Oh my gosh, 37.5 million. All right, now fast forward a couple days later. So let's check into the app now and see if I can start up the new account, if I can see what the features are. We can go through what it looks like to get that new account set up, and I'll show you everything right now. So now whenever I start up the app, I see that I have a new option. I love that. They even recognize that I've shut down the account before and I'd have to reopen it. It doesn't say checking open, it says checking reopen. There's like a history of that. So now whenever I click on that, I can see, hey-oh, there's Dwayne Johnson's beautiful mighty face. Yeah, I am looking for the Mighty Oak Visa debit card, guys. That's what I've been wanting this whole time. You've been keeping it from me. So we can see all the features there again, which I just absolutely love. I'll blast through them in case you didn't already know, if you didn't watch my last video. The big headlining features are that the checking account that's associated with this card gets you 3% interest, which is like some of the highest checking account interest I've seen all year, period. And then the corresponding savings account, which they're calling an emergency fund, is 5% interest. Now I find it interesting that they're labeling it that, because I'm just now realizing as I'm talking to you that I wonder if there's a limit on how much you can put in there. Like if they're like going, oh, it's only an emergency fund, so you can only put $1,000 in, like if they're gonna cap that interest rate, I'm gonna have to figure that out as I get in here a little bit further. I hope not. I hope they don't limit you like that, because that would be silly. What if I want to put 20 grand in there? Well, keep an eye out for that. The next big feature is you get the subscription cost of Acorns in general waived if you direct deposit $250 a month, at least that much. And so I'm also wondering, what's the definition of a direct deposit? Because if it's a direct from my employer deposit, that means my whole paycheck's got to go over here, and that's kind of a pain. I assume it's your whole paycheck. I'm asking a lot of questions tonight. You know, it's 10:20 p.m., so I'm burning the midnight oil here for you guys so I can get this video out to you. I'm assuming a just bank transfer from a different account doesn't count as a direct deposit. But can you direct deposit from one source as an employer to multiple different banks? That'd be interesting. More research for another day, not tonight. And then pretty standard features for Acorns. You can do roundups whenever you spend money. You can automatically invest, yada, yada, yada. Get a customized card, yeah, of course. Oh, and there's Dwayne Johnson's beautiful, mighty face. We'll get a tungsten metal Visa debit card. I don't even know what tungsten feels like. I think my other cards that are metal, I believe are titanium, at least the Apple card is. And then they just have you confirm your address so they know where to ship the card to. They verify your occupation status again, even though they already have that in the app. So I think they're going through this because you're essentially starting over with a new bank. This is a totally different bank than who's been hosting the previous checking account. The previous bank was Lincoln Savings Bank. This new bank, if I remember the acronym correctly, is NBKC, or maybe it's NKBC. The weird thing about whatever that acronym is that it's all lowercase, which just like irks me. Feels like someone forgot to hold down the shift button or something, but it's a totally different bank. So you're essentially establishing a new relationship with a bank for the first time. Then you get to record your signature and have that be printed on the card. So it's like your exact handwriting on your phone, not like with a pen or anything, but then they show you like a little preview. Here's what it'll look like on the card. It looks really cool. And then of course they encourage you to fund your account because you had to close the other one with $0 in it. So now do you want to regularly deposit to that account, or do you want to do like a one-time deposit? I'm just going to do a one-time deposit, throw $100 in there, get the ball rolling, and see what we can see once the account is fully open. And then bada bing, bada boom. We get our lovely quote here from The Rock as if he's talking to me. The Rock says, "Congrats, Brendan. You've taken a mighty step for your future. I've learned along the way that every step counts. So let's keep pushing forward even when it's hard. Stay focused on the goal and let perseverance do its thing. From Acorns, mighty oaks do grow. Let's mighty up. Dwayne Johnson." Is it okay for him to have his signature out here in the public like this? Can someone like forge a check? I don't know. All right, let's keep going and see what kind of access we can see actually within the app itself. Oh, whoa, hold on. Is the entire Acorns app now like dark themed? If you guys don't already know, my life is dark themed. Like everything here in my studio is black. All my devices are dark themed. Like everything is dark themed. And if you remember just a minute ago, when we were doing like a little review of what the Acorns app looks like, it was all white and green and like bright in your eyes green color. Now everything in there's black. Guys, this might be the best feature of the card, dark mode. Oh yeah, and I forgot, I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but I do like this feature that kind of is like the first hit of Roundups. The first 7 Roundups that you do will get matched by Acorns. So what that means is whenever you use their card, your first 7 purchases with it, they get rounded up to the next dollar, then that little bit of change gets invested for you. They'll match that for you. So they're giving you $3, $4, $5, something like that. But I've got my matches set up to be whole dollars. So for every purchase I'd make with it, it would invest $1. So maybe I'd get $7 out of the deal. Hey, almost pays for 1 month of the service. Okay, the first thing I want to look at here is just click on features again, because I'm just curious if it tells me anything new here. Doesn't look like it. No, nothing really new. Okay, so I am for sure set up with whole dollar roundups, and they're set to automatic, so I like that. And then just overall in the app, I don't see anything too different besides the color. I love that, because now at this point, I think I'm just waiting for the money to settle and waiting for access to more stuff. I don't see anything about the emergency fund though. Where is this whole emergency fund deal? Maybe I should look again. Let's pull it up again right now and see if I can find anything about the emergency fund. Oh man, that app just looks so much better. Just look how great that looks. Doesn't look so great when my camera is super bright, but trust me, it looks great. Here, maybe I can darken this up a little bit so you can see it better. Kind of sort of see it. It looks awesome. Okay, so let's get into checking. It's got to be in the checking section, right? Checking, direct deposit, you can set up your bills. Okay, bill pay, I like that. But where the heck is our emergency fund? Grrr. Why is it so cryptic now, guys? Acorns has always been the easiest. It's been so obvious where everything is. It's so easy to use. There's no navigation woes. There's no hunting for stuff. Why am I hunting for stuff? I'm not setting up direct deposit right now. I'm not setting up bill pay. My recurring transfers are not turned on. What the heck? I mean, maybe it's something that'll appear later, unless it's in a different area. What if I click on these different icons down at the bottom? I've got the investing section, got the banking section. Oh, there it is. That's so weird. Why would it not show up before? So from the home screen, when you're at the home screen, you click on checking and it's only the checking account. Can't see anything there about the emergency fund, but the very middle icon that looks like a little, I don't know, Pantheon or something, it shows combined banking balance, and it's both the checking and the emergency fund. Yes. Okay, let's see how limiting it is. Emergency fund, they immediately say, save $1,000 for a rainy day. Acorns. Plan for your future, 5% APY, automatically fund it with every paycheck, set a balance goal. Oh, set a balance goal, not just our balance goal. 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Okay, let's set a goal. Let's set it to 10,000. Why not? Be mindful. Consider setting your starting goal no higher than 2,500. From there, you can turn it into a 3 to 6 month fund and continue saving. Okay, that's fine. How about 2,500? No, 2,501, just to poke the bear. Oh wait, no, I just did this math. How much do we need to have in the emergency fund making 5% interest to cover the cost of Acorns? You've got to have $9 a month to even have access to this. So $9 a month times 12 months, we're paying $108 a year to have access to Acorns. $108 divided by 0.05, which is 5%, gives us $2,160 we've got to have in there for it to pay for itself. So we'll do, wait, did I say 60? Yeah, 2,160. So we'll do $2,161 as our starting goal. That will then pay for Acorns with Acorns. I like it. Hey, you open your emergency fund. How would you like to fund your account? Not direct deposit. Let's do a one-time deposit. Oh, wow. There's a limitation for you. So I noticed that it's suggesting that I transfer from Acorns checking. So I clicked on that to change to a different bank where there's more cash, because I obviously only have $100 headed towards Acorns right now. Oh no, Can't do that. Transfer from. You can only transfer from your Acorns checking account. This allows you to access your funds immediately, or not immediately because I don't have them in there yet. Of course, I have $0 in Acorns checking, so I can't do it. Oh, Acorns. You're getting silly here, guys. You're getting silly. I'm going to skip immediately funding this because I can't. So we can get to like the next screen. And this is what it looks like whenever you've got your emergency fund set up. Sort of, kind of. Emergency fund. So now I see another new feature in there. I've got my goal set up. I've got, of course, no money in there. But the new feature that I didn't see before is Paycheck Split. What does that mean? Let's add a split. Save and invest with every paycheck. Make at least $250 in direct deposits per calendar month and we'll waive your subscription fee. Automatically distribute some of your paycheck across all your Acorns account. So it's setting up your direct deposit to go to your Acorns checking. And from there, a chunk of it could go into your emergency fund. Okay. All right. Enough investigating. Let's talk about how we feel about this. I wish it was easier to do. I wish I could fund my Acorns emergency fund without having to go through the checking, but that's fine. I can do one more hoop. In theory, I like that they're pushing for this because one of the core foundational things about personal finance that everybody has got to have set up is that immediate first buffer so that you don't go into a bunch of debt when the poop hits the fan. You'll lose your tire on the freeway, somebody gets sick, whatever. Life happens, and we end up having to pay $1,200 suddenly. We didn't plan for it. If you start getting into that cycle of high interest debt through credit cards or payday loans or whatever it is, that's just a downward spiral that's going to really like crush your finances. So the fact that Acorns is pushing to use an emergency fund, I think is very on brand for them. I appreciate it. I think it's wise. I just wish it was easier to use. There's only one doorway in and out of that thing, and I wish there was like 100 doorways. Let's make it easy for people. Let's make it easy for everybody to have an emergency fund. Use it. Make it happen. But they're clearly getting pushed by the bank that they've set this up with to really push like using that bank. Is it worth jumping through those hoops to get this interest rate? I mean, as I think about this, I'm comparing it to other accounts in my mind that offer similar features that also you have to pay for. So like for M1 Finance, for you to get this level of interest, the 5% interest rate, you've got to be paying for M1 Plus or Premium or whatever they call it. And if I remember correctly, that's $99 a year. So it's right there around the same money. Robinhood Gold, I think is actually cheaper. I think it's only $5 per month. So that's $60 per year. And that gets you right there at 5% interest right now. And Robinhood has a 1% IRA match, which is pretty handy. You know, Robinhood a few years ago was kind of the shameful one. And anymore, they're making it easy in good ways, making it easy to get your IRA going and easy to save some cash there. Like you could just call your Robinhood savings account deal, whatever it is, your emergency fund. Don't have to have a special category within the app to do that. You could just know that it is and make 5% and only pay $5 a month instead of $9 a month for this. I don't know. It's a dichotomy. Because for someone who's already using Acorns to invest, you like the service, you want to keep using it anyway, to just step into this and start using it could make a lot of sense, but they've made it hard to do that. Close down the account, restart it up. I mean, objectively, it's not hard. I ran 5 miles tonight. That was harder than stopping the account and starting a new one. Obviously, it's not difficult. It's just silly that it's a hurdle at all. It shouldn't be there. So it's not like tailored to people who are existing customers. It's more tailored to draw in new customers is what it feels like. But if you're a totally new customer, why would you pay $9 a month to invest and to get 5% savings? You can do that elsewhere and not pay $9 per month. Kind of an interesting one. I feel like Acorns was really leading the pack in terms of what's the easiest, best investing service to use, especially for beginners. And anymore, they might step off the throne. But stay tuned and be subscribed. If you're not already, hit the subscribe button, move on, because I'm going to make a video here for 2024 that's the best investing apps for beginners. And man, as I think about this, it's really getting shaken up. Even Webull has some more appealing features. They do have an IRA. They have like a big triple your IRA transfer bonus right now, where if you send in like $25,000 from one existing IRA to the Webull one, instead of getting like a transfer bonus of $150 in cash, they'll give you $450 in cash. And those amounts just go up and up and up. I think if you transfer over $1 million, they give you like 18 grand, which is pretty wild. I don't know anybody with $1 million in an IRA, but if you did, wow, that would be awesome. So it's really interesting from a macro level as we zoom out over the last 4 or 5 years since I've been making videos on the internet for you, how these services have really shifted around, and the great ones have often become not so great, and the not so great ones have gotten better. So it's really a moving target here as far as who the absolute best one is. Do any of these reasons make you have to change investing services? Definitely not. I'm not calling for that. I don't think you need to be moving your money around left and right every 6 months. Do what works for you. If it's already working for you, how you're investing, then keep doing that. And by working, I mean like you're regularly investing money, you're regularly saving, you're spending less than you make, all that stuff. If your system is chugging along, don't mess with it. It's probably not worth it. But if you're at a crossroads and you're ready for a change, or you realize that you have like 100 grand in cash sitting somewhere getting 0.01% interest and you should be getting 5% interest because you're just going to make a bunch of money to do nothing, like why not? Throw it in here, make some money. So, Acorns, you're tricky. Well, we know this. I'll report back whenever I get the card. I'll show that to you. I'll show you what it's been like to use the card, see if those first 7 roundups did indeed get matched, if they were full dollar amounts or not, see what the emergency fund is like to use. I guess I'll transfer cash from M1 Finance to Acorns checking to then get it into the Acorns emergency fund. I guess that makes sense. And I'll show you how all that went. So I'll keep you updated here. And on a personal note, the secret comment word for today is over, because I went to a doctor's appointment last week. And of course, you go to the doctor, they make you stand on the scale. He says, how tall are you? 6'5". How much do you weigh? I had clothes on, had shoes on, had some stuff in my pockets, but I was like 231, something like that, 233. He looks at his little chart on his iPad and he goes, I know you're not here for this, but technically, based on your BMI of 27, you are overweight. To hear somebody on the outside say like, hey man, you're overweight, that's never fun. So the secret comment word for today is over, especially if you struggle with your weight or your health in some ways. I looked it up on like a BMI calculator chart thing. I would have to lose 20 pounds to get from overweight to healthy weight. So we'll see how that goes. The holiday season is upon us, which is not the best time to be losing weight, but we're trying it out. I'm running more. We get some non-alcoholic beer. Gonna refrain from macarons and too much leftover birthday cake and see how it goes. But healthy steps, right? Healthy steps in the right direction. Just like with our mighty oaks, our mighty guts. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.